Sanjeev Ahluwalia is a senior economist joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is chairperson of the Nephron Clinic, joining us on the broadcast as well. Sanjeev Ahluwalia, I actually thank Nitin Gadkari for saying what the honest taxpayer in this country has been saying for the last many years now. Okay, you are in any case overtaxing us, but as far as our health insurance premiums are concerned, as far as our life insurance premiums are concerned, please spare us. It's a legitimate demand.
So, Shreya, I know this is a subject which is very close to your heart. You had mentioned it earlier too. But here's the issue I want to place before you. Actually, I'm surprised that this suggestion is coming from the unions of the insurance companies and Nagpur. The reason why insurance will not become more affordable if you do away with the GST on premiums that you pay every year is because of the structure of the GST. You see, the GST was supposed to be a simple and good tax. And what it does for corporates is that it allows the credits that they earn on GST when they levy it to set off the amounts they have to pay when they buy services. Okay. So either you have to end both sides of the equation. You have to end the levy of GST on premium. You also have to end the levy of GST on services. And then the companies will be where they were before the GST phase. But if you only end one side of it, what will happen is your premium will go up. Because the benefit, the financial benefit that the company earns by setting off the credits that they earn on charging GST on premium will no longer be there. But the cost that they have to incur on buying services like marketing and sales and so on, that will still be there. So premium will actually go up if the finance minister accepts the suggestion. She's a very smart woman. I don't think she's going to do that, number one. Number two, it is not the business of the finance minister to decide what the rate is. This goes to the GST Council where these things are discussed. A revision in the rates overall, the 4 rates that we have, is already on the table before the GST Council. And that will be the time to consider the point that what should be the GST on services, all services, which will include services that the company buys and services that it provides to its customers.
Okay, so essentially then, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, what the good economist on the panel is telling us that in case the finance minister or the GST council does decide to reduce the GST on the premium of our life insurance, policies, on health insurance policies, it could actually end up increasing our premium. It could actually end up having us to spend more on these things. But I mean, was this Mr. Nitin Gadkari just making a point to grab a headline because he's not that sort of person? Or is he someone who's echoing what most of us have said for a very long time now? I'm sure the government has a way to ensure that we are not taxed on our premiums for at least health and life.
Good evening. I think this is an extremely important point. Keeping the entire gamut in discussion, I have 4 quick points. India is still highly underinsured as individuals and families. We have an insurance penetration of around early 40%. Still, as we speak, in spite of Ayushman Bharat, which is covering 5 lakhs per year for 50 crore families, we have about 40 to 50 crore people who are completely uninsured. The problem is that the public healthcare system is not geared up to take over the load. Therefore, people have to go to private. The private healthcare for a common person is still very expensive. I will not use the word prohibitive, but it is still very expensive. Therefore comes the insurance. Now we have cars coming out in India, and you can't drive the car till you take a comprehensive insurance. It's a wonder why families are having newborns and the babies and the children onwards are not being insured. Families are not being insured. Pregnancies are not being insured. The cost damage to a person out of pocket expense is so severe if a person falls unwell and goes to a private hospital, very often they can't pay. So I think it's not only the removal of the GST, we need a scheme to incentivize good health. We need more penetration of healthcare. We need to tell people the real importance of having a health insurance. You insure your house, you insure your car, you insure your laptop, and you don't insure your own health. That is being ridiculous. I think a public healthcare campaign needs to be run to make sure that people understand the benefits.
Okay.
The important point here is that the chronic lifestyle diseases need cover. OPD patients need cover. The pharmacy bills need cover. I think the insurance companies themselves need to modulate the rates. The rates for a family of 4 for an adequate cover, I'm not giving a figure, goes more than 50 to 60,000 rupees a year. That's pretty tough for families of lower middle class. So I think we need an overall relook, not only at the GST, but the structure of the insurance.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you very much. Two Sanjeevs in the show this evening. This was a quick chat. Sanjeev Ahluwalia, thank you very much. And Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, thank you very much for giving us your perspective on an issue, as you said, which is very close to Mira Nao's heart.